Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. Today we are going to discuss Black Friday. So I did a video about how Black Friday doesn't necessarily save you money. And if you watch that video, you know that I said do your research. There's nothing wrong with going Black Friday shopping, but just because they say it's a good deal doesn't mean that it is. But Black Friday is over. Black Friday sales broke records. Online this Black Friday in America, I'm going to say in America because I assume because we have Thanksgiving here that in other countries they don't have Black Friday, but maybe in other countries they have days like that. I'm not really sure. So here in the US, $11 billion was spent on Black Friday shopping online alone. $11 billion. That is mind-blowing. That is a lot of money, especially when you go online. I'm sure you guys have seen it. You guys watch YouTube. I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos of people from different social medias posting about inflation and not being able to pay rent, not being able to put groceries, buy groceries and basic necessities, but people have money for Black Friday. Now I get it is the holiday season and people want to buy gifts, and other people are also claiming because of some things that are going to be coming up politically next year, with the change of our president and tariffs, that some people are stocking up on things until that happens. But I'm sure there's probably like a small percentage of people like preppers or different things like that is true. But I really doubt that a large amount of that $11 billion is in response to possible higher inflations or tariffs and different things like that. And you guys know that we don't get political on here, but that is something that is going around in the news is the talk of higher tariffs on imports, and also other countries talking about higher tariffs on exports, and like there's a whole big topic about that, and that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. So this is not political, but that's what they were trying to say on the news, is that some people were doing it because of things that might happen, and also because of inflation that we've been experiencing. They did interview a few people and they were like, oh, well, things are just really expensive, so if I can get the best deal possible, blah, blah, blah. And I totally get that. Like, if you can get something that you need or want, whether it be for a holiday gift or for yourself or your house, and you can actually get a good deal on it, of course, like, I think that's a great idea. But a lot of this stuff on Black Friday and the holiday shopping, it's crap that nobody needs, nobody wants, and it's just not necessarily useful. And I have a couple other, I write notes for videos, and I'm just going to go ahead and also add in a few other things while I'm filming this. Buy now, pay later is becoming a lot more popular. I'm not going to mention the apps by name, but I guess there are apps where you can put it on there. I don't know if it's some sort of credit card exactly, but you buy it now and you pay for it later. So basically like modern day layaway, which tells me that the people don't have money for the items they are purchasing, okay? Also, store credit cards are on average at 30% interest rate, which is insane. I've never had a store credit card before, but so people are using buy now, pay later apps, and they are also using store credit cards, which are on average at 30%, which is insane. Also, most Americans are still paying off last year's holiday debt. The average American spends about $1,000 on, they said, Christmas specifically. And there are people that are still paying off the credit card debt and the store credit card debt from last year's holiday season. So if you're still paying off last year's and you're racking up more this year, it might be time to kind of figure that out. That's not a good situation to be in. And it's just, it's not good, guys. It's not good. And I had a conversation with my significant other, and we were talking about like why don't people know their limits? And basically, guys, like there are people that just have a compulsion for spending. The shopping addiction, I think, is probably at record highs. Also, I've discussed this in other videos, influencers and FOMO and people presenting themselves as rich, and then we're seeing that and then we want to emulate that. Also, people have a problem with being honest about where they are financially, whether it be from embarrassment or maybe you're not in a safe place with your loved ones or the people around you. And when I say that, what I mean is, if I couldn't afford to buy Christmas gifts, I would relay that to my loved ones, because I would feel no embarrassment with that. Like, I would be like, hey guys, like I can't, like I'm out of the gift exchange this year. And they love me and they would understand. None of them would judge me. And so when I say maybe some people aren't in the same kind of safe space, there are people that feel like they can't tell their loved ones that, or their loved ones wouldn't understand, or they would be too embarrassed, or they would feel a lot of shame. And so for them, it's just easier to keep racking up the credit card debt and keep pretending. But if you are that person that is pretending, please don't pretend anymore. Just, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be honest with the people around you. And if you cannot be honest with the people around you, then you need a new tribe. Because we need to take away the shame of financial issues. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's this big shame and this big cloud around it, and we really need to take that off and just be honest with the people around us about what's going on. So I mean, I don't know what to say. That's a lot of money. And I'm not making fun of anybody, but when you constantly hear people claim that they're struggling to buy groceries and they're struggling with everyday expenses, but they're still buying unneeded, overpriced crap and putting it on credit cards to pay at some later date, something has to change. Something has to change. And I believe it changes with each of us individually, one at a time. So if you are seeing this video, you can be the change. You can make a decision to return that stuff that you bought if you cannot afford it. You can make a decision to return it and tell your loved ones, I cannot participate in holiday gift giving this year. I need to prioritize myself and my financial situation, and I will participate in the holidays at a later date when everything is sorted out. And people really want to talk about self-care, but when people talk about self-care, and I am going to do a video about self-care and how it's gotten way inflated, I am a huge advocate for self-care. However, there are people that are using self-care as an excuse and as a crutch to continue the cycle of mismanagement of money and to perpetuate the need for debt and credit cards and crap coming into your house and no way to pay for it, and you're just getting yourself into more and more of a situation. So if you really want to promote self-care, the best thing you can do is to take away those financial burdens. So if you need to give an excuse or a reason, which you really don't need to, but boundaries and breaking generational curses and like all those things, it's very, very complex, and I'm not going to get into it all right now. But if you feel like you're in a situation where you would have to give a reason and you're feeling shame, just say, I cannot participate in holiday gift giving because I need to take care of myself. This is my gift to myself, is self-care, which is getting my finances in order. Okay? You say self-care. I mean, honestly, that was the best thing that I ever did for myself, and I didn't even realize it was self-care at the time because my head wasn't in that kind of headspace. But taking control of my finances was literally the best thing I ever did for myself. And I've shared this story before, and I will share it again. I was married, and I went to my husband at the time and said, we need to get out of debt. We need to get our finances in order. And he refused to participate. No, we don't need to do that. We're still young. No. Just constantly, no. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I took control of my finances without him. Now, mind you, our bank accounts were separate, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But he continued to go out and spend and rack up more debt, and I was getting out of debt, and I was getting control of my finances. And I did it without him. You don't need to wait for somebody's permission to get your finances in order. You have to make that decision. Give the gift of financial freedom to yourself. Is it going to be instantaneous? No, absolutely not. I get that we want like instant gratification, but that's not going to happen with finances. But I assure you, you will be so grateful and so thankful to yourself for getting yourself out of the mess that you're in. Or if you're not in a mess, you could get in a mess pretty easily with these statistics and just the way things are going, guys. Okay, so please, just somebody out there, give the gift this holiday of self-care and peace of mind for yourself. Okay, I hope you got something out of this. I'm just astonished with these numbers and these statistics, and it's not good, guys. Okay, so hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully I encourage somebody to possibly make different decisions. Okay, so if not, hopefully I was at least entertaining, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you did not know. I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life with Mercedes. Until next time, guys, bye.